Hi, everybody. Kenneth G. Hasty here once again with my series of videos for leaders, business owners, sales managers, salespeople, marketers, and people. So today's video is called Your Buyer's Journey. And what do I mean by your buyer's journey? Well, let's think about this. Nowadays our buyers, the people that are purchasing our products, are fairly sophisticated. They can go on the internet and basically find whatever product that they want. Think about the last time you bought a car. Did you just walk in unbeknownst to a dealership with no idea what you wanted and said, "Gee, I don't know, you got a car, show me what you want, show me what you got"? Or did you research it online? Did you study it? You still needed to talk with a salesperson when you went to buy it, but you probably already knew what you wanted. So you weren't looking for somebody to sell you something. You weren't looking for somebody to say, you know, "Hey, come here, buy." You were looking for somebody to facilitate your purchase, kind of guide you through, right? At least that's the case in most cases. And like when I leased my car recently, the same kind of thing. I knew what I wanted. I knew where I wanted it. I knew what I wanted to pay. But I couldn't just push a button online and walk over and pick it up. I still had to talk with somebody, right? So I still needed the salesperson in that regard. But what does a good salesperson these days do? What do they do differently? They they don't just come up and start telling you what to do and where to go and how to do it and things like that. They become more of a peer, right? And so when I work with people, I try to be more like their peer. I don't talk down to them, nor am I really talking up to them. I'm just basically talking with them as a peer. So think of yourself as rather as a salesperson, but rather as a helpful guide on their buyer's sales journey. So if you're a helpful guide on the buyer's sales journey, think of like a tour guide, right? So you already know what you want to tour, don't you? I mean, you go to a different city and you say, "Hey, I think I'll take a tour of whatever." You don't just randomly say, "I'll just take the next tour that comes along." You research it a little bit and you say, "This is what I want to see." But if you have a guide that is helpful and guides you through and makes the most out of your tour to make you really understand it, then they talk to you more like a peer, and let's show you this, show you this. What do you think of that? Um, Same thing if you're the helpful guide on someone's sales journey. You're not then the fast talking slick salesperson. You're simply guiding them through the process of buying what you have that they need. So consider yourself a helpful guide, and you can be a trusted resource um, to help get them to the destination that they desire. And listen to them and pay attention. I think back one time, a lot of time, well, I'll preface that. A lot of times we have something we want to sell them, right? We have a few products. We have something, I want to sell them this. And we're all guilty of that. But they may not be needing that or ready to buy it at this time. Doesn't mean they won't buy it later. No means not yet, right? But I'll give you an example of this. When I was VP of Sales and Marketing at a medical device company, I was co-traveling with a rep, and I just released a new financing program to make it easier to lease, medical devices and things that, kind of take the burden off just selling it for a certain amount of cash. And as salespeople, we tend to look at things from our socioeconomic perspective. So let's take the car salesperson, right? you know, it doesn't really occur to them that somebody might walk in and pay 40,000 cash for a car most of the time. What occurs to them is make the cheapest payment they can find, and then the person will probably buy that car. So they'll come in, "Oh, I can get you this for like 500 a month, or whatever it is. But they oftentimes aren't talking about, well, it's $62,000, and I might be able to squeeze it down to 58, whatever. They're usually talking in terms of monthly payments. So sales reps tend to do the same thing. They try to find the path of least resistance. And so we're in this office, and it's a specialist office. They've got multiple offices around the city, and the sales rep is sitting talking to the manager who manages multiple offices and then does the purchasing. So she's sitting there, and so he starts talking about the lease options and how their monthly payment would be, blah 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 blah. And I let them talk for a while, and I watch her body language, and then I I go, stop right there. Let me, may I ask you a question? I'm speaking to the lady now, the business person, and she goes, sure. I go, are you at all interested in financing? She goes, no, no, we typically would pay cash. And you should have seen the sales rep's face, just kind of like, oh my god, and then we moved forward and proceeded accordingly. But same thing, we wanted to, she knew what she wanted. She knew she had the money. We just needed to guide her towards purchasing it for the practices. So I guess the moral of this story is don't just assume people, are going to buy what you're selling. Don't go in as a salesperson, but rather help guide them towards what they want to buy or they ultimately need. And you can do that by asking the right questions up front. Find out what's important to them and then guide them towards it. It's a fairly simple concept, but a very important one because, these days people kind of know what they want to buy. They often know what they want to pay. They just need you to guide them to help them make that final decision. So they make that buying decisions a yes, everybody wins. So that's my message for today. So I'm Kenneth G. Hasty. I'm a professional business growth consultant. I'm a professional sales automation consultant. You can check me out at kennethghasty.com. Or if you'd like to email me, it's kenneth@kennethghasty.com. If you'd like to talk some business, I'll put a link in here that you can read that'll sync with my calendar, and you can set up a time that we can meet or talk on the phone. All right. So thanks, and talk to you later. Remember, be the guide, not the sales guy. All right. Take care. Bye.